Have you ever felt as though there is more inside you than the life you're currently living? Something waiting, demanding, almost aching to be born. But every time you try to reach for it, you find yourself pulled back by old fears, old patterns, and old voices that don't even sound like your own. If so, you are not lost. You are simply standing at the doorway between who you have been and who you are meant to become. And Carl Jung understood that doorway better than almost any thinker in modern history. Today we are not merely analyzing his ideas, we are entering them, because Jung did not offer motivational slogans. He offered maps for the inner world, maps for the soul, maps for a man who refuses to remain half alive. This journey is not about comfort, it is about awakening. These 7 quotes are not lessons, they are invitations. Each one contains a doorway into deeper self-knowledge, into integration, into the quiet and unmistakable power of a man who becomes whole. And if there is a guiding thread through all of them, it is this. You do not become stronger by pretending. You become stronger by turning toward what you fear inside yourself. Let us begin. Quote 1. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This is not philosophy, it is a mirror. Most men believe they are making choices. They are not. They are carrying out unconscious instructions written in childhood, in trauma, in culture, in memory, in wounds they never examined because they were never allowed to. You wake up every day thinking you are steering the ship. But if you are still ruled by old shame, by the need to be liked, by the fear of being seen as weak, by anger you cannot explain, by patterns you repeat even as they destroy your peace, then your life is not fate, it is repetition. And yet there is no blame here. That unconscious protected you once. It gave you rules to survive a world where you were small and powerless. But you are not that boy anymore, and unconscious survival strategies become prisons when you outgrow them. True adulthood is not age, it is consciousness. The ability to say, this reaction, this fear, this shame, it is old, and it is not me anymore. Awareness is liberation disguised as responsibility. Quote 2. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. The world adores distraction. Men chase money, status, validation, admiration. They collect possessions, titles, achievements. Yet they go to bed empty, restless, needing more tomorrow so they don't feel the ache today. Dreaming is not childish, but dreaming without awakening becomes escape. Ambition is not weakness, but ambition without inner truth becomes addiction. The life you want is not outside of you. It is found when your inner world stops being a stranger and becomes a companion, a guide, a compass. To awaken is not to reject the world. It is to enter it with clarity, no longer seeking from others what you have not yet given yourself. Quote 3. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Notice the word, privilege. Not everyone seizes it. Many men live and die as echoes of their father's fears, their mother's anxieties, their culture's expectations. It takes courage to become yourself, not the polished persona, not the boy performing to be loved, not the mask shaped by survival. Your true self is scarier because no applause is guaranteed. Yet the cost of not becoming him is quiet despair, the soft suffocation of a life unlived. You feel it in the Sunday evening dread, in resenting people who carry confidence you never cultivated, in promises you made to yourself but postponed into oblivion. Becoming yourself requires shedding identities you once thought were your salvation. In fact, they were camouflage for a boy who feared being seen. Quote 4. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Real growth is not gentle. Healing is not a spa treatment. To become conscious is to feel the losses you buried, the anger you muted, the needs you abandoned to earn approval, the fear you converted into bravado. Pain is not punishment, it is information, and when you stop resisting it, you discover its message. There is something here you have outgrown. Men who avoid pain stay boys forever. Men who face pain become sovereign, quiet, grounded, impossible to manipulate because they no longer fear their own feelings. Pain is not the enemy, numbness is. Numbness steals life inch by inch until a man becomes a ghost inside a functioning body. Quote 5. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. This is not optimism, it is authority. Trauma explains you. It does not define you. Your childhood wounds shaped your patterns. They did not write your destiny. You can honor the boy who survived without allowing him to run your adult life. Awakening begins when a man says, I cannot change the past, but I can stop reliving it. You step out of the victim stance, not by denying what happened, but by refusing to let it be the final author of your identity. Your future is not written in your scars, it is written in your choices. Quote 6. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Self-acceptance is not indulgence, it is strength. To accept yourself is to stop negotiating with your inner enemy. It is to look at your anger, your envy, your longing, your softness, your hunger for approval, your fear of abandonment, and say, you belong. I see you. You do not have to hide anymore. Acceptance does not mean surrendering to weakness. It means integrating it so it no longer controls you from the shadows. A man terrified of his inner world will always seek external control. A man who befriends himself becomes ungovernable by fear. Quote 7. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living. The world wants formulas, systems, 10 rules, 5 hacks. Do what I did. But you are not a copy. You are not meant to live someone else's destiny. Your path is not prescribed. It is discovered. The greatest suffering comes not from failure, but from trying to fit a life that was never meant for you. Your work, your love, your masculinity, your calling. All of it is unique. You learn through experience, through mistakes, through intuition, through listening to the quiet inner voice that speaks only when you stop performing and start becoming. There is no recipe for living. There is only truth and the courage to follow it. Consequences of avoidance versus integration. Avoiding yourself breeds anxiety, projection, impulsivity, fragile pride, emotional volatility. Integrating yourself creates inner gravity, steadiness, discernment, integrity, quiet strength. You do not become dangerous to others. You become unavoidable to your destiny. Archetypal framing. When you accept your shadow, the king rises. When you choose responsibility over comfort, the warrior awakens. When you seek truth more than certainty, the magician develops. When you allow presence and feeling, the lover breathes again. Integration is not luxury, it is maturity, responsibility, and witness. A man grows alone in silence, and he sustains that growth in brotherhood. Not for validation, but so he does not forget who he is becoming, not perfectly, reliably. Closing benediction. Your life is not a puzzle to solve, but a soul to inhabit. The world does not need another man performing strength. It needs a man who has met himself and did not turn away. Be that man, not perfectly, reliably. Begin.